Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and welcome back to your fourth stimulus package and news update. We have a lot of news to get into in today's video, but first, if you would like to receive 2 free stocks from Webull, valued all the way up to $2,300, make sure to claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. Okay, so the House returns to Washington from their vacation today, where they expect to hold a vote on increasing the debt limit through December 3rd. This bill, which was already passed in the Senate last week, is expected to pass and will then be quickly signed into law by Joe Biden. This will increase the debt limit by $480 billion over the next couple months, which by December 3rd, they'll need to raise it once again. Before doing that, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, and congressional Democrats have some other lofty goals. Those being, first up, passing the bipartisan infrastructure bill by October 31st. Of course, in order to do that, they will need to first reach a deal on the top line for reconciliation. Recently, the chair of the Progressive Caucus, Pramila Jayapal, said that she would be willing to come down from $3.5 trillion as long as they included all of their initiatives. They want free community college, universal pre-K, paid family leave, affordable housing, childcare, climate action, a roadmap to citizenship, among other things. These are all priorities to progressive Democrats, and they're not willing to leave any of them behind. So rather than fund them for 5 or 10 years, they're saying, why don't we reduce the amount of years we fund them for? That way, the price tag comes down. Of course, as I said in yesterday's video, eventually, when those benefits expire, lawmakers at that point will have to make the decision on whether or not to renew the programs. If people are already receiving universal pre-K and monthly child tax credit payments, it's going to be extremely difficult for those to be taken away later down the road. And this is why they want to include everything. They know as long as we get these programs started and temporarily funded, more than likely they will get renewed later down the road once they expire. Yesterday, Nancy Pelosi wrote a letter to Democrats which stated, "In all of the meetings in Italy and Portugal, our counterparts were happy that America is back as President Biden declared. During the visit, discussions about the Build Back Better reconciliation legislation continued late into the nights. In order to pass both the Build Back Better Act and the bipartisan infrastructure bill on time, it is essential that difficult decisions must be made very soon. Overwhelmingly, the guidance I am receiving from members is to do fewer things well so that we can still have a transformative impact on families in the workplace and responsibly address the climate crisis, a Build Back Better agenda for jobs and the planet for the children. At the same time, we must lift the debt ceiling and hope that we can have unanimous Democratic vote and perhaps a bipartisan vote to do so. As I ask the Pope to pray for us, may we reflect upon the opportunity we have to meet the needs of the American people and our responsibility to do so. Thank you for your leadership for the people." In her letter, it says to do fewer things well, or in other words, cut some of the programs out of there, have fewer programs in there, but then fund them extremely well. What they end up cutting, if they do end up cutting any of the programs, is hard to say. Then of course, whatever they end up deciding on, they will need to make sure that Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema are on board as well, because, again, without them, they won't be able to pass the bill. Being that Democrats won't be able to get a single Republican on board with their reconciliation package, they will need all 50 Democrats to approve of it. Here is Republican Representative Andy Biggs talking down on the Build Back Better plan and asking what happened to Biden's promise on not raising taxes. Take a listen.
Hi, Congressman Andy Biggs here from Arizona's 5th Congressional District. We are facing a big fight for the economic future and, quite frankly, for the political future of the United States of America. And it's wrapped up in these bills that spend incredible amounts of money. What the Democrats aren't telling you is that it has over $2 trillion worth of taxes in there. And that's going to go right on down to if you make $30,000 or more. So what happened to Biden's promise? Well, it's gone. The other thing is, for bigger businesses, your tax rate's going to be higher than the rates in Chinese communist China. That's a huge problem. How about the taxes that are going to go up and affect Americans' families and small businesses? $1 trillion. That's what we're facing. Everything from cows on a per head tax to additional taxes that are going to be put in place. And yet, at the same time, These bills are going to give a tax credit of $7.5 billion to Ivy League schools and people who attend Ivy League schools. They're going to also continue a program of $130 billion a year for a child tax credit. And if you are wealthy and you decide you're going to buy an electric vehicle, they'll give you a subsidy up to $12,500. That isn't their money to give. That's our money. And our children and grandchildren's money. That's what they're playing at here. And it's not all about the money either. They're imposing all kinds of Green New Deal mandates and regulations that are going to go on and on and on and stifle our economy. Please join me in opposing these horrific spending bills by the Democrats.
So Biggs is saying that people who earn over $30,000 per year will have their taxes raised and corporations will have tax rates higher than China. He also mentions that wealthier people who own electric vehicles will receive a subsidy of $12,500, and that money, of course, is our money. Taxpayer money. Now, Joe Biden has made comments in the past about wanting half of the vehicles sold in America by 2030 to be electric vehicles, so you can definitely understand why they may want to give tax credits to push people to buy them. But really, is that a tax credit for the poor or a tax credit for the wealthy? Of course, it doesn't really matter what Republicans think, as Democrats can, once again, pass this bill with only Democrat votes. The only two Democrats standing in their way at this point, again, are Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Okay, so before I wrap up the video for today, I just wanted to issue a friendly reminder that the fourth round of child tax credit payments are expected to go out on Thursday. These payments, again, will be $300 for those of you with children under the age of 6, and $250 for those of you with kids ages 6 to 17. After Thursday's payment, you will receive 2 more the rest of this year, and the other half of the credit you will be able to claim on your tax returns. As of right now, an extension of the child tax credit payments are in the reconciliation package, which would extend them through 2025. And as I mentioned in today's video, it looks like they may be removing some of the social spending programs in the bill, so there is a small possibility that this one does end up getting removed. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Again, if you would like to receive a couple of free stocks from Webull, make sure to quickly claim them by clicking my link, which you will find in the description box below. To receive the first stock, you will need to fully open an account. Then to receive the second free stock, which will be valued all the way up to $2,000, you'll need to make a qualifying deposit of at least $5. And even if you aren't all that interested in investing or continue to invest at this point in time, you can always sell the free stocks you receive and transfer that money, however much they're worth, right back to your bank account. So free stocks or free money is completely up to you. So once again, I hope everyone has a great and safe rest of their day, and I'll see you in the next video.